Bookish friends, welcome to my July TBR. For the month of July, I decided to take things a little bit more relaxed and set a TBR that is a bit less focused on my yearly reading goals. July is my birthday month and I've just decided to do Jane Austen July as a treat to myself, as a birthday present to myself. Because Jane Austen, as most of you know, is one of my favorite authors. Actually, one of the videos that I did was the video where I ranked all of the Jane Austen books that I have read. And also, I've started my From Pages to Screen video series with the adaptations of Persuasion, which is my favorite Jane Austen novel. So having a reading month full of Jane Austen works would be a fantastic birthday month for me. I will link the announcement videos for Jane Austen July down in the description box. And there are 6 prompts for Jane Austen July. One of them is read one of Jane Austen's 6 novels. For my first Jane Austen July, I've decided to do a Northanger Abbey themed TBR. I will read Northanger Abbey for the first prompt. The reason that I choose Northanger Abbey, that is the book that I remember enjoying very much, but I've only read it once, and I remember the book the least. So I thought a reread was necessary to talk more about this book more intelligently. Second prompt is read something by Jane Austen that is not one of her main 6 novels. I'm going to choose Love and Freindship, which has a very strange spelling, by the way, and other early works. I downloaded this in my Kindle library application. It's a short work that consists of, I think, 4 juvenile works, and I'm really interested to know how Jane Austen's early works do compare with her adult years. The third prompt is read a non-fiction work about Jane Austen or her time period, the late Georgian or Regency era. I chose Jane Austen on Love and Romance by Constance. It's a short non-fiction book about how Jane Austen describes love and relationships in her books. I thought it would be a fun read for a non-fiction work. The fourth prompt is read a modern retelling of a Jane Austen book. I've chosen a book from a series that I'm currently in the middle of. Although it shows as the last book written in that series, because the series follows no order. And since I'm doing Northanger Abbey themed TBR, I'm going to read Henry Tilney's Diary by Amanda Grange. I've so far enjoyed the 3 books that I've read from this series. I rated Mr. Darcy's Diary and Captain Wentworth's Diary 4 stars, and Mr. Knightley's Diary 3 stars. Number 5. Read a book by a contemporary of Jane Austen, someone publishing in her lifetime, give or take a few years. I'm going to choose a Gothic novel. Actually, it is a book by the same author, who Catherine, the main character in Northanger Abbey, reads, The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. I'm not going to read that book. I'm going to read a shorter book from that author. But it is also a Gothic romance, so I think it would fit the theme perfectly. I'm going to read a Sicilian romance by Anne Radcliffe, and the book was published in 1790, which is, of course, falls into the lifetime of Jane Austen. The 6th prompt is watch a direct screen adaptation of a Jane Austen book. Of course, I'm going to watch 2 TV movie adaptations of Northanger Abbey, and I plan to do From Pages to Screen video about that one. if everything goes according to the plan, of course. There are two adaptations of Northanger Abbey. One of them is 1987 TV movie adaptation, and the other one is the 2007 movie adaptation. I have watched the 2007 adaptation before, but I will rewatch it to make a better analysis of the comparison with the other adaptation, and of course comparison with the book. And the last prompt is watch a modern screen adaptation of a Jane Austen book. I've heard that there's a web series about a modern adaptation of Northanger Abbey called Northbound, and I will watch that adaptation, and I will put the link of that adaptation down below in case you're interested in it. So those were the books and the adaptations that I'm going to watch for Jane Austen July TBR. As I said before, I decided to take things much more relaxed this July, but I still have to read 3 books. One of them is a body read, A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I have finished the big Turkish book containing all of the short stories of Sherlock Holmes. Now I plan to read the remaining 4 novels of Sherlock Holmes, and we are going to body read those 4 novels with Naomi from Naomi's bookshelf. As I'm really eager to read this novel because I enjoyed the longer works of Sherlock Holmes much more, so I'm very hopeful that I will like the novels much more than the short story. The second book that I'm going to read is a part of a read-along, and it is also a part of my Stacking the Series challenge, Rainbow Valley by Ellen Montgomery. We are going to read this for Tia and Amanda's read-along group, Annealong 2020. This is the next book that we will read for Anne of Green Gables series. I generally enjoyed the books in that series very much, and Shirley is one of my favorite characters. And I cannot wait to read more about how Anne is coping with being a grown-up. And the last book that I have to read for July is the book for my real life book club. It is called Mazurkas by Mario Vargas Llosa. This book is written by an author from Peru. I have never read an author from Peru before. It's a historical fiction that takes place in 1980s. Being a fan of historical fiction, I'm really eager to read this book as well. And of course, since I've never read a book about Peru before, this will be a very interesting experience for all of us. I will try to find the English edition of that book and try to link it down below as well. By the way, I love the color of the cover. I'm not a big fan of the color blue actually, but I really like this tone of blue. So those were the books that I plan to read for July of 2020. So please comment down below, are you also going to participate in Jane Austen July? And also please comment down below if you have read any of the books that I mentioned that I'm going to read in July. If you're a new viewer, please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye! As for Turkish word of the day, since we are doing the July TBR, I thought July should be the word of the day. July means Temmuz in Turkish, and Temmuz is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.